Kamala Harris is not a godsend, all right? You people didn't even like her 6 months ago. Now, all of a sudden, she's black female Jesus.
Yes, for the very first time, I'm aligning with Chris Cuomo. I've been watching him now for some time since he left CNN. He's struggling to change his tone, though he made it clear that he cannot vote Trump. But this video is okay.
Kamala Harris is not a godsend, all right? You people didn't even like her 6 months ago. Now, all of a sudden, she's black female Jesus. The way Obama was black Jesus. And let me tell you something. He had a lot more going for him than Kamala Harris does. And not just as firsts go, but his type of campaigning, his type of persuasion, his charisma, okay? He was imbued with things that she is not. And I don't mean that as a criticism. It's just a point of comparison. And her process fucked her also. There's a convenience in it, but it fucked her also. Because there are a lot of misgivings about her. There's an underlying feeling that she didn't get this the right way. She may not have won a primary. She didn't even make it to the first round of primaries when she did run. And that is both fair and unfair at the same time. But look, this idea of don't say anything bad about her because Trump, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. And it's not how you get to a better place. It's a relative assessment. She has negatives. So does he. Does he have more? Yeah. He also has a way more intense following. That's why this race is so tight. Now, explain that to me. Unless you want to write off half this country as bigots, how do you explain it being so tight? Maybe you're not as right about everything as you think you are. Maybe you should be a little bit more open to the people that you disagree with. Maybe they're not all racists.
Do you agree that black men who are not voting for Harris and who didn't vote for you, as the pastor sees it, are misogynist? As he said, misogyny is still real in our community.
Yes, Stacey Abrams recently had this interview on CNN where she now attributes the fact that a lot of these minorities are supporting Trump to racism, sexism. These are terms they usually use to convince people to change their mind, but it's not working. I understand the kind of message they're struggling to pass, but that should not be the case. People are not concerned about race. They don't care about that. Based on the polls I've observed, when you look at Fox News recent poll, it shows that Trump is dominating this woman by a lot. People are concerned about the border, about foreign wars, things like that. They're not concerned about skin color. So when I look at this lady trying to pass this out, it's ridiculous. It is important. I show you what exactly is going on. If you love what I'm doing here and you want to support the channel, please share the videos and always thumbs up. Check if your notification is on.
But I want us to be really clear that Kamala Harris is doing very well with black men. Black men are the second strongest cohort of Democratic voters. However, we do have to acknowledge that there is sexism, there is racism, there are challenges in our electorate, and that's why it's so important that Kamala Harris is going everywhere and talking to everyone. She respects voters, she meets them where they are, and she refuses to be told that she has lost a cohort, lost a community, simply because she's different.
That is where I don't agree with her. I'm totally against what she said. They should struggle to look into the core. Like, why are people not supporting her? Are they okay? Is the economy okay? Is the Biden-Harris administration doing okay to make these people to change their minds? These are things they are not talking about. Now trying to go into this issue of sexism, racism, which to me, it doesn't make sense.
Thingman is here with the details. Hi, Brooke. Hi, good morning, guys. Yeah, former President Donald Trump continuing his election push today. He's making huge gains with traditionally Democrat voting blocs. So the former president is now leading the VP by 11 points with Latino voters, according to a new USA Today and Suffolk University poll. That same poll is showing Harris's support among black voters is reaching historic lows for a Democratic presidential nominee, with just 72% of likely black voters supporting the vice president. Meanwhile, 57% of voters do not believe Harris has done enough to explain her specific policies as she tries to distance herself from President Biden.
Signs of the season, Macomb County, Michigan. These suburbs just north of Detroit are a blue-collar bellwether. Joseph Knowles about to send a message, about to defy his union leadership, about to vote Republican for president for the first time, about to vote for Donald Trump.
And at this point now, I'm desperate. So I'm willing to try anything right now to make sure that I can fulfill my responsibility and to take care of my wife and kids. That's all I care about.
Knowles is a union auto worker, one of 1,100 just laid off by Stellantis, the parent company of Chrysler Jeep. He blames corporate greed the most, but doesn't stop there.
The second blame, I will put it on Joe Biden and the Democratic Party. Why? Because of the EV mandates. I thought the Democratic Party was for the working class, people, the average Joe like me. That's what I thought.
There are more American auto jobs now than at any point of the Trump presidency. But auto workers supporting Trump here echo his attacks on Biden's clean energy incentives and his claim illegal immigrants are to blame for lost jobs.
But if you do it the wrong way, I think you should get round up and just thrown out. I have no problem with that because it jeopardizes my way of providing for my kids if they take jobs.
Knowles waves off friends who call Trump racist, says he doesn't believe Vice President Harris is up to the job, and he spars with family members who say he should stay a Democrat.
Oh, man, I took it from my mom, from my auntie, cousins, my sister. They came at me.
Bill Govier is a 30-plus year union worker at Ford, and he has this side business cleaning car underbodies. When we first visited 4 months ago, he was a fan of Robert Kennedy Jr. Now, he will cast his third ballot for Trump.
RFK joining Trump effectively. I couldn't script it.
You can see clearly this CNN reporter is torn. Comparing this clip with what Stacey Abrams said, two different things. These are people that lost their job or they are not okay with the Biden administration, the way they handle the economy. That is their main concern. They were for Kamala at a certain point, but when I look into their lives, what the Biden administration has done compared to what Trump did when he was in office, they changed their minds. They didn't talk about race, skin color, or this, like Stacey Abrams stated there. When I look at Democrat, without actually going into details to study some of these videos, when they speak, you can easily believe them. But when you go further to do research, you will see something contrary. If I didn't see this video from this same CNN, I'll believe Stacey Abrams. I was okay, she's right. But now, look at the whole situation. This is not just the first case. There are a lot of people with similar views.
So what is it? You're the incumbent who wouldn't do anything different, or are you the underdog that wants change?
And he says count this early vote in Wayne County for Harris. And count Tonya Rincon as a Democrat who long ago lost patience with Ford co-workers who shrug off Trump attacks on immigrants, on judges, on vote counts, on critics.
There's a lot of people that they just take the crazy with Trump as it's baked in the cake and we're just willing to ignore it. Whereas if we heard that out of our loved ones, we'd be like, okay, Grandpa, it's time to take your keys.
Rincon just retired from the Wayne Assembly Plant and is helping the UAW register and turn out voters. She says her June bet that her local would split 50-50 in a Trump-Biden race is still about right, with Harris now atop the Democratic ticket.
There's a little bit more enthusiasm among some of my female coworkers. A couple of my male coworkers are pretty ambivalent about Harris. We may have lost a tiny margin of support because sexism's a real thing, you know.
She's carrying the same talking points. And I don't like when I see somebody, spewing this. You should be able to look deep. Why are you supporting Kamala? Give your reasons. Must you think that because she's a woman, she is a reason why people are not voting for her? If you are competent, people will obviously follow you. If you are doing the right thing without looking at a lot of things.
Now, some pollsters are thinking it's because they missed the Trump voter.
Errors don't always happen in the same direction. If they're off by the same amount, but this time underestimating Democrats.
I love how the mainstream media is looking at this. Thank you guys for always being there, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly.
They move as one. It is so surreal. This campaign cannot get any weirder.
Not only just dumping millions and millions of dollars, you've got Donald Trump.
AIC is pretending here like she is poor. We saw what happened at the Met Gala. The kind of dress she afforded received backlash on social media. Now trying to pretend, fool these people with this kind of language. Insane.
Weird right-wing swamp creatures lately, thanks to Donald Trump. None of these guys, none of them spend even a minute pushing back on his nonsense.
All right, everyone, November 5th, election mania. Choice is yours. You can go with President Trump, Kane, and The Undertaker, or you can take Kamala Harris, Dave Bautista, and Tim Walz.
He released a video. I don't know if you've seen this. Let's take a look at this.
The thing that Donald Trump has ever done is divided this country.
When
actor in the Arab American community, and I was really surprised this week to get an earful to hear them say that they would much rather either vote a third party, not vote at all, or vote for Donald Trump.
About what he said before the speech to black men.
Is there a Democratic Party? Extreme left.
Trump is nearly dominating this lady in all the polls.
And I gotta say, it's not looking that great for the Democrats.
No, Dems are not scared to death.
Is it a good endorsement?
Well, this is the problem.
Holmes Enterprise. If you are over 18, please register to vote for something else.
Are now stepping forward.
Seen before.
Trump.
I don't care if they write that. No, it was right, and you got.
I'm going to shake it off.
It's like 73% said they're voting for Trump. Okay, yeah.
Kamala,
you hired me 4 times.
I tell him, I'm like, I'll just pop.
How dumb are you?